Namaste and welcome back everyone. We are back to the afternoon session of the spiritual retreat to celebrate the spiritual humanism of Swami Vivekananda.
Namaste. We will be singing a composition on Rag Mishra Kafi, Tal Ektal. My name is Sharika Dey.
Namaste. My name is Shlok Banerjee.
Namaste. My name is Anusha.
Namaste. My name is Shivika.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम तोशानी बहल है।
मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कारचित्तानि च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायु चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न च प्राणसङ्गो न वै पाञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोशा न वा पाणिपादं न चोपासपायुः चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे देशरागो न मे योगमो मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सार्यभावा न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदं न यज्ञम् अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे नेत्रशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न ब्रह्मा न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो विभुत्वा च सर्वात्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणि सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तिर्न बन्ध्या चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्
is a musical offering by the students of the Suranjali School of Music. The performance will be guided by Shumita Chakraborty. We have listened to the melodious voice of Shumita Di this morning. Shumita Di is an accomplished vocalist and she was initiated into Hindustani music by her father, Sri Bireshwar Datta, and later received training in the tradition of Gwalior Gharana from the eminent Pandit Shankar Shripad Bodas. She received a doctorate in music in 1987 from Benares Hindu University. She has performed in several Indian cities such as Calcutta, Varanasi, Lucknow, as well as in the US, Canada, Singapore, and Malaysia. In 2001, she founded the Suranjali School of Music in the Bay Area and has since then combined the role of a teacher and a performer of Hindustani music with remarkable success. The students who will be singing in the chorus are Riya Nair, Olina Datta, Amruta Bhavsar, Anandita Mukherjee, Kiran Balakrishnan, Srishti Chandra, and Ayushi Jani.
First of all, we students of Suranjali School of Music would like to thank you, Swami Vivekananda, for giving us this opportunity to present our musical offering on this special event, which is dedicated to Swami Vivekananda. We would like to start with Guru Pranam, followed by a prayer. Aisi Buddhi Do Bhagavan, Bure Bhale Ki Kota. Rag Bhakti, set to Teen-tal and 8-tal. The Teen-tal composition is Madhuhasari Vajivansari, and the 8-tal composition is a Tarana. Now we will present two compositions in Rag Hansadwani, set to Teen Tal and Ek Tal. The Teen Tal composition is Brahma Shiva Hari Arachanak Jay, and the Ek Tal composition is Aye Garanandalal. Sa
Speaking next on Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism is Swami Isha Dhyanananda. Swami Isha Dhyanananda is the Assistant Minister of the Vedanta Society of Sacramento. He arrived at the center in August 2017. Before coming to the US, Swamiji served as the treasurer of the Jamshedpur branch of Ramakrishna Mission. Prior to that, he was posted at the headquarters office in Belur Math. Swami Isha Dhyanananda joined the Ramakrishna order in 2002 after completing his master's degree. He was initiated by Swami Atmasthananda, the 15th president of the Ramakrishna order, and he received his monastic vows in 2012.
Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. My reverential pranams to all the Swamis who are present in today's online spiritual retreat, and my namaskar, best wishes to all the devotees, well-wishers, friends who are attending this 4th July spiritual retreat hosted by Vedanta Society of Berkeley online. It would have been nice if we could do this online, in person than online, but I am sure that very soon we are going to meet, and the next retreat we shall be able to do it in person. So today's topic is very interesting, and I thank Swami Prasannath for choosing such an interesting topic for this 4th July retreat. Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism. To understand Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism, we will do well to answer 5 questions. And if we get the answers of these 5 questions, we shall have a clear idea on what Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism is. First question is, what is humanism? Second question, what is spirituality? Third question, are they compatible? Number 4, what is Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism? That is, what is unique about Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism? And the 5th question, and the most important, what is its application in our life? What is the application of Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism in our life? So the first question, what is humanism? Humanism is a worldview or a philosophy which came into existence as a reaction or antithesis to the medieval theocracy. It's a product of Renaissance or the Age of Enlightenment. Its chief features are That is, humanism says that science provides the only reliable source of knowledge about this universe. The material universe is the only thing that exists. There is no supernatural being. There is no God out there who created this universe and then withdrew from it. We only live this life. There is no afterlife, and there is no such thing called reincarnation. And finally, human beings can live ethical and fulfilling lives without religious beliefs. So humanism rejects the idea of knowledge which was revealed to human beings by God or any special books. One thing about humanism, when I first read it, it appears to us that it is atheism. But it is not atheism directly, but it makes God redundant. Its main concern is individual prosperity, development, and growth without any support from the church or organized religion as such. And its second concern is concern for other human beings. And the students of Vedanta can very well understand that humanism, in short, is a domain of three purusharthas or three aspirations of human beings: artha, kama, and dharma. Artha means security or wealth, kama, entertainment, pleasure, and dharma means the virtues or the good life. These three are the concern of humanism. To make it further short, or to make it shorter even, we may say humanism is this worldly. Humanism is this worldly. Second question is, what is spirituality? So in narrower sense, spirituality may mean religion. We are born into the organized religion, which has its dogmas, its beliefs, its doctrines, which are sometimes unquestionable and which are based on revelation of only one person in history. In short, spirituality in that sense, in this narrower sense, is otherworldly. But spirituality has a broader sense too. When we take into account of the facts that our human beings' personal quest, personal journey for finding answers to the big questions of life, finding the meaning of life, finding the inner freedom, that is what in Vedanta we call moksha. These are the concerns of spirituality, the broader sense of spirituality. So then the third question comes, are humanism and spirituality compatible to each other? So it is clear that spirituality in its narrower sense, the dogmatic sense, unquestionable belief to church or some dogmas, that spirituality is incompatible with humanism. In fact, humanism rose as a reaction to that form of spirituality, that those religious dogmatism. But when we look into spirituality from its broader perspective, or we take spirituality with its broader connotation. Humanism is compatible with spirituality. How? The center of humanism is human beings. Humanism concerns itself with the growth and development of human beings. And spirituality is exploration of upper reaches of human possibilities. Spirituality takes care of the person in depth. Spirituality helps us to look at our personality in depth. We may say that spirituality adds the fourth dimension in our personality. It also adds the fourth dimension of human aspirations called total inner freedom or moksha. When we take into account of the fact that there is a spiritual dimension of human personality, humanism becomes compatible with spirituality. And that is what Vedanta tells us, that human beings are not only these limited psychophysical being, but human beings has a spiritual core. All of us are sparks of the divine. There is divinity in all of us. So any development and growth of human beings should consider the spiritual dimensions. If we want the total human development is the concern of humanism. If we think of total human development, then spirituality is must. And then when we do that, if we can do that, then humanism becomes spiritual humanism. So humanism is compatible with spirituality, although apparently looking at the meaning of the terms, at first they appear to be not compatible with each other. But Vedanta shows us that humanism is totally compatible with spirituality. Then, fourth question is, what is Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism? Or to be more precise, what was Swami Vivekananda's contribution to this spiritual humanism? Although Swami Vivekananda himself never used the term spiritual humanism, he never told that the way of life, the spiritual way of life that he was showing us was spiritual humanism, but looking through the looking through the lens of these terms, spirituality and spiritual humanism, which came much later on, his spirituality, the way of life that he showed us is certainly spiritual humanism. And that spiritual humanism has four unique features. Number one, emphasis on immanent aspect of God. Classical Advaita Vedanta, what happened with classical Advaita Vedanta is, classical Advaita Vedanta stressed too much on the transcendental aspect of reality, and world became a secondary reality. The emphasis was always on the transcendental aspect of Atman or Brahman, and world became the domain of Maya, which is a secondary reality. But Swami Vivekananda emphasized the immanent aspect of God. God alone has become everything and everybody who are present in front of us. That is one thing he did. He emphasized the immanent aspect of God. Secondly, he gave a twist to the age-old concept of karma yoga. He introduced something we may call seva yoga. If God is immanent, if God is present in every human being, if every human being is a spark of the divine, then serving the living God is itself is a spiritual practice. Serving others, thinking or knowing that they are nothing but manifestation of the divine is a spiritual practice. Seva yoga, that is we find in his famous Bengali poem Shakhar Prati. He says, Bahurupe Shanmukhe Tomar, Chari Kotha Khujichu Ishwar. In English, the poem translated as the name of the poem is To a Friend. And the last stanza of the poem is from the highest Brahman to the yonder worm and to the very minutest atom, everywhere is the same God, the all love, friend of our mind, soul, body at their feet. These are his manifold forms before thee. Rejecting them, where seekest thou for God, who loves all beings without distinction? He indeed is worshipping best his God. That is what Seva Yoga is. Thirdly, for Swami Vivekananda, the other three human aspirations, dharma, artha, and kama, are not end in themselves. According to Swami Vivekananda, dharma, artha, kama, fulfillment of our desire for wealth, security, our aspiration for entertainment, our aspiration for the good life must be fulfilled. Why? Only for serving the highest aspiration, moksha. They are not in end themselves, but they are means for propelling us to our highest aspiration called moksha or inner freedom. So artha, kama, and dharma are the domains of humanism, and according to Swami Vivekananda, these are all needed only to take us towards our final destination or highest aspiration called inner freedom. Finally, Swami Vivekananda adds a spiritual dimension to the secular work ethics. The work ethics that we may say Protestant work ethics, the work ethics which came from the Protestant worldview. Swami Vivekananda gave that work ethics a spiritual dimension. He showed through his lectures, such as practical Vedanta lectures, that our life can become sacred by way of serving others. By doing our duties perfectly, with the view that whom we are serving, they are nothing but manifestation of God, the life becomes sacred, the work becomes sacred. The fifth question, and the most important question, what is the application of Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism in our life? So we are all spiritual aspirants, and some of us, if not all, are devotees of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. We have to interact with people. We get to interact with people in our own houses, in market, in workplace. When we are interacting them, when we are serving them, when we are working with them, can we look upon themselves as manifestation of divinity? Can we see them as manifestations of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother Sarada Devi? Recently, I completed reading 2 volumes of the book Swami Yatishwarananda as we saw him. It is a collection of reminiscences about Swami Yatishwarananda. And at many places, I found that Swami Yatishwarananda is telling the devotees again and again that whenever you encounter any male human being, try to think that he is manifestation of a form of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna has appeared in front of you in that form. Whenever you encounter or meet, greet any female, try to think that Holy Mother Sarada Devi herself has come in front of you in that form. So, of course, we know it is not easy to think all human beings as manifestation of God. There are difficult people whom we encounter in our workplace or in our day-to-day life interactions. There are difficult people, and the first question that we encounter from our devotees when we say that, can we practice to see every human being as manifestation of God? The first question is, but there are difficult people. What to do about that? There's no doubt about that. But can we start with people whom we like? The people whom we like. If we can do that, in course of time, we shall be able to look upon even the difficult people as manifestations, as different forms of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. And if we can do it, even a little of this, even a little bit of this practice, not that all the time we are able to do that, but even if we can do a little bit of it, even if we can practice a bit of it, this spiritual humanism of Swami Vivekananda has potential to change our life. Our regular interaction will become spiritual in nature. Quality of our interaction will improve. Most importantly, the regular interaction or regular work-related activities will transform into spiritual practice, and with that we shall grow spiritually. So it has got 2 benefits. One, not only we grow spiritually, but the kind of interaction we have with others, that takes a spiritual dimension. The work we do for others, that becomes sacred work. And we are all grateful to Swami Vivekananda for showing us this way of life for others. That is Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism, and we are all grateful to Swami Vivekananda to not only show the goal but also giving us detailed instructions about how to reach that exalted state of seeing God in everybody. So let us all pray to Swami Vivekananda for his blessings, that in this very life we can imbibe, we can practice, we can make it real what he wanted from us. Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Surai Satchit Sukha Sarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Salutations to the best among the ascetics, the hero Swami Vivekananda, who is of the nature of existence, knowledge, bliss, who is established in Atma, self, and who is the remover of our sorrows.
Let's enjoy this song sung by Alok Parnadas.
Mahashinghasane Boshi. On October 24, 1885, Saturday, at a meeting held at Mukunda Chandra Bhattacharya's Shampupur residence, Narendranath sang this song in the presence of Sri Ramakrishna. The song was written by Rabindranath Tagore when he was 19 years old. On the morning of 31st December 1883, Narendranath sang this song in front of the homes of his friends Haridas and Dasharathi at Jorabagan. That was also the first day of Narendranath's BA exams. Mahashinghasane boshi shunicho he vishwapito. Mahashinghasane boshi shunicho he vishwapito. Tomari rachito chande Mahashinghasane boshi shunicho he vishwapito. Mortero mritika hoy ক্ষুদ্র এই কণ্ঠরোয় mortero মৃত্তিকা হয়ে ক্ষুদ্র এই কণ্ঠরোয় আমিও তোমারে তব হয়েছি উপনীত। মহাসিংহাসনে বসে শুনিছ হে বিশ্বপিত। কিছু নাহি চাহিলে কেবল দর্শন মাগে। কিছু নাহি চাহিলে কেবল দর্শন মাগে। তোমারে সুনামুদিত এসেছি তাহারে লাগে। গাহে যে ধার বিশ্বাসী সেই রবি শশী সেই সভামাঝে বসি একান্তে গাহিতে চাহে এই ভগতের রচিত মহাসিংহাসনে বসে বিস্মিত তোমারি রচিত ছন্দে মহান দেশের গীত মহাসিংহাসনে বসে
Our final speaker this afternoon is Swami Prasannatmananda. Swami Prasannatmananda is the minister in charge of the Vedanta Society, Berkeley. He received his monastic ordination in 1995 after spiritual and scriptural training. His decades of ministerial service include spiritual practice and worship, personal counseling, congregational prayer, scriptural and philosophical studies and research. He offers classes and formal lectures on a variety of topics, some of which have been at UC Berkeley and Stanford. He has also written several philosophical and religious articles, such as Swami Vivekananda's views on Buddhist monasticism, role of spirituality in health, and the great women in Hindu scriptures and Holy Mother. Swamiji also conducts formal worship and Vedanta classes at the San Jose House.
You have just heard 4 beautiful lectures on the same theme, spiritual humanism of Swami Vivekananda. And probably by the time you have understood what humanism is and what is Swamiji's concept. I would like to speak on Swamiji's surprisingly expertise on Vedanta and his concept of society. I would like to talk about his unique command on philosophy, his outstanding intellect, and extraordinary heart. Although he had deep concern for the poor and downtrodden from his childhood, yet it is needless to say that Swami Vivekananda's concept of spiritual humanism originated from his guru, Sri Ramakrishna. In 1884, Sri Ramakrishna fell down and broke his hand. More than a year after, Sri Ramakrishna revealed a profound fact behind that incident. He said, "I am telling you the secret. Do you know why I love Purna and Narendra and others so dearly? I had once a vision of Jagannath, and as I went to embrace him, I fell down and broke my arm. And it was revealed to me that as I was born as a man, I must love the God in man." A few days after the incident, the master further said, I now find that my spiritual outlook is undergoing a change. Long ago, Vaishnavacharan told me that the highest spiritual wisdom was the vision of divine in man. I now really find that it is the Lord who is moving about in the forms of men, sometimes saint, sometimes a fraud, and other times a knave. But all of them are God, and none but God. All the religions of the world we find propagate and practice humanism. In Christianity, we find anointing the sick. In Islam, we find Jagat. In Buddhism, we find Karuna, Maitreyi, the compassion. In Hinduism, we find the highest of everything is human being, Shabar upare Manushyattva. But what is the speciality in Swamiji's spiritual humanism? Any concept, whatever it may be high, cannot be accepted by everyone unless it is not connected with our emotion, it is not connected with our day-to-day life, if it is not connected with our life and has some practical value. Atman doctrine was that it could not fulfill any of these said things what I have just mentioned. That's why the lawgivers, Indian lawgivers, Manu and others, they did not apply the Atman theory because it did not have some practical value. Some Western thinkers like Albert Schweitzer or John Mackenzie have criticized this aspect of Atma doctrines. It was Swami Vivekananda who made the Atma doctrine a powerful tool for the social change. On the one hand, he awakened the intellectual people to serve the poor and downtrodden, and on the other, he aroused the poor and downtrodden to stand on their own feet. Moreover, Swami Vivekananda adopted a complementary doctrine of the Supreme Self Atman and applied it for the practical life by combining service to a person with worship of God, humanism with spirituality, and make a comprehensive integral theory which is capable to cater liberation of an individual and at the same time can do the good to the humanity. But why this humanism is called spiritual humanism? It is because Swami Vivekananda considers each individual as a spirit. He gave the definition of life to Maharaja of Khetri. He said, life is the unfoldment of spirit or Atman, where the circumstances are trying to press it down. This is called life. According to him, spirituality is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. According to him, love means the manifestation of the same spirit. According to him, humanism is the manifestation of the same one spirit which is called Atman. To him, life, spirituality, humanism, or love are not different. They are nothing but the manifestation of the same spirit which is called Atman. So to him, humanism, spirituality, love is same, only the manifestation of the same truth which we call Atman. From this point of view, his humanism, his concept of humanism is called spiritual humanism because it unfolds the spiritual aspect of human being. So service, love is also the aspect of the unfoldment of the manifestation of the same spirit which is called Atman. So his concept of humanism is spiritual humanism.
Here is a song by Sumita ji.
घट में गूंजा नाद निरंतर, घट में गूंजा नाद निरंतर, ज्योति जले अंतर में, ज्योति जले अंतर में, सूरज के उजियाले में मैंने मुझको पाया, धन्य भाग सेवा का अवसर पाया, धन्य भाग सेवा का अवसर पाया, धन्य भाग सेवा का अवसर पाया।
Before we conclude for this afternoon, here's a reminder about some upcoming events. A summer retreat will be held on August 7th and 8th on the topic of practice of spiritual maturity based on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Registration details will be available soon. After registration, leading material will be sent to you. Camp Taylor retreat is planned for Saturday, September 12th. Registration details will be available soon. If there are any changes due to COVID-19, you will be notified. As we come to the end of the retreat, we offer our pranams and thanks to all the Swamis for their inspiring spiritual messages. Many thanks to all the participants as well. I thank Swami Prasannatmananda for this opportunity to participate in this program. Namaste.